Hi everyone, thanks for watching today. My name's Shelley Bean and I'm a Senior Business Analyst for the FHIR Accelerator program at FHIR. I'm excited to share with you today how the Sparked initiative is transforming healthcare interoperability in Australia. So what is Sparked and why is it such a significant initiative for Australian healthcare? Well, Sparked is a government-supported program led by FHIR's Australian eHealth Research Centre in partnership with HL7 Australia, the Department of Health and Aged Care, and the Australian Digital Health Agency. Its primary mission is to improve healthcare interoperability across the country by adopting and implementing the global FHIR standard. The Sparked AU FHIR Accelerator is about creating a healthcare system where information flows seamlessly. Imagine a system where no matter where you go, your GP, a specialist, or even an emergency room, your health data is accessible, consistent, and reliable. That's the vision that Sparked's working towards. Sparked takes a unique approach, one that prioritises collaboration, practicality, and long-term impact. Unlike many top-down initiatives, Sparked is fundamentally community-driven. This means that the program is not just led by the government, but it's shaped by the very people who are going to use it and benefit from it. Technology partners, provider organisations, peak bodies, practitioners, and domain experts, they're all deeply involved in the design and the development process. This differs from past initiatives, which often focused on single programs, lacked broad engagement, and were made optional. Sparked aims to be inclusive, emphasises consensus, and signals that adoption will become mandatory after a period of collaboration. It also prioritises fundamental challenges first and has a long-term vision, focusing on solving basic problems before moving into advanced data exchange and innovative solutions. This collaborative approach ensures that the standards that we create are not just technically sound, but also relevant and practical. For example, clinicians help us understand what's needed in the real world, things like workflows, usability, and minimising administrative burdens. At the same time, vendors and developers ensure that the technical solutions we design are scalable, secure, and easy to integrate into existing systems. Inclusivity is a cornerstone of Spark's approach, ensuring diverse voices are heard and valued. We hold regular workshops, connectathons, webinars, and community discussions to gather feedback and to refine our standards. This iterative process ensures that we're constantly improving and adapting to the evolving needs of the healthcare system. This isn't just a theoretical exercise, it's real, meaningful collaboration. By involving the people who are directly impacted by these standards, we're building solutions that are not only practical, but also widely supported. So what is it about Spark that makes it so special? Well, it's the community. We now have over 1,000 registered community members and over 100 founding member organisations. All states and territories are founding members of the program, and we have a large number of clinical colleges, primary health networks, and vendors that support the objectives of the Sparked FHIR Accelerator and have committed to active participation in the design groups, connectathons, and testing events. We are continually growing our community of supporting member organisations. Now let's look at what we're delivering. Imagine you're building a house. You wouldn't start with the roof, right? You'd start with the foundation, something solid and dependable that everything else can be built upon. And that's exactly how we're approaching the Sparked AU FHIR Accelerator program. Instead of trying to fix everything at once, we're focusing on solving the foundational challenges first, the building blocks of healthcare interoperability. So let's start with data for interoperability. At its core, this is about creating consistent ways of recording clinical context and meaning. Why is this important? Well, because healthcare systems need to understand and use data in the same way, whether it's for a GP visit, a hospital admission, or for research. The standardised clinical data models that we're developing include AU-CDI and AU-EREC-DI, and the team will explain these in more detail in the next video. Next, we need to make sure that we're all speaking the same language, literally, and that's where clinical terminology value sets come in. So imagine asking two doctors to describe the same condition, and they use different terms. It creates confusion, delays, and errors. To avoid this, we're working with clinical colleges to develop standardised terminology for data entry and use. These value sets ensure consistent language, particularly for things like pathology and medical imaging requests. So once we've got the data and the language sorted, the next step is figuring out how to share it. Enter FHIR implementation guides. So these guides, like the AU Core IG and AU e-requesting IG, are technical blueprints for system implementers. They bring everything together: clinical data models, terminology, and workflows. Think of them as the instruction manual for how systems can use FHIR standards effectively. With these guides, we ensure that the data is not just captured, but also shared and understood across all points of care. Now, you might be wondering, how do we make sure that these solutions actually work in the real world? And that's where testing and piloting come in. So we work with the healthcare community to test these standards in real-world scenarios. Through events like connectathons and pilot programs, we ensure that the standards are fit for purpose and that they're ready to scale. This is about building confidence, not just in the technology, but also in its ability to improve day-to-day healthcare delivery. And then finally, we provide reference implementations and testing services. And these are like pre-built examples that show how to implement FHIR standards effectively. They serve as a guide for organisations, helping them build their FHIR-enabled products with confidence and clarity. By working closely with the community, we ensure that these tools and services are practical, scalable, and that they're aligned with real-world needs. So what does all of this mean? Well, it means we're not just talking about interoperability, we're building it step by step, layer by layer, from consistent data models and terminology to implementation guides and testing services. Every piece of the puzzle is designed to create a healthcare system that's more connected, efficient, and patient-centered. This is the Sparked AU FHIR Accelerator in action, and we're just getting started. To build truly interoperable and effective healthcare solutions, we need both clinical expertise and technical excellence. And that's why we have two key groups driving Sparked: the Clinical Design Group and the Technical Design Group. The CDG, or the Clinical Design Group, focuses on the what, specifically what clinical information should be captured, used, and shared to support patient care. This group defines the necessary data elements, terminology, and overall structure needed for meaningful clinical documentation. Essentially, they determine the clinical requirements that form the foundation of our work. On the other hand, the TDG, or the Technical Design Group, they're responsible for the how. So once the CDG defines what data should be included, the TDG ensures that this information is structured, accessed, and shared effectively between systems. They define the technical standards and the implementation details that make interoperability possible. Both groups work together to ensure that we're not only capturing the right data, but we're also making it usable and shareable in a way that supports seamless healthcare delivery. Two teams with one goal. There are lots of different ways that you can get involved with Sparked. You can join one of our clinical design groups or our technical design groups. You can attend one of our webinars, or you can take part in testing at one of our connectathons. You can scan the first QR code to register for Sparked, stay updated, and explore opportunities to collaborate. We also have a podcast where we dive deeper into key topics in digital health, featuring expert discussions and real-world applications. Scan the second QR code to check out the Spark podcast. And of course, let's stay connected. If you'd like to continue the conversation, share insights, or explore potential collaborations, scan the third QR code to follow Sparked on LinkedIn.